So, good morning, students. And today we will be continuing with the chapter control and coordination. Now, by yesterday, we have completed the entire chapter control and coordination. And today, I will recapitulate the whole chapter with a discussion from your side and both question and answers. Some of the questions which I will put and some of the queries you can put from your side also. So an overall view of the whole chapter control and coordination. The first important thing in this chapter is that what do we mean by the term stimuli? Okay, what do we mean by the term stimuli? Now, stimuli here, just a minute. Stimuli here means any change in the surrounding which causes to show some response. Okay, any change in the surrounding which causes to show some response. That is the stimuli. Now, if suppose we are saying any change in the surrounding, that is the stimuli, then definitely our body will also try to show some response toward the stimuli. And what is that response? It depends upon the type of the stimuli. Suppose you are touching a hot water, you are removing your hand apart. So that is a response towards the hot water, moving your hand apart. Suppose a bright light is coming on your face, so you will close your eyes. So that is a response toward the light. So depending upon the different stimuli, the different type of the responses are there. And in animals, who control all these responses? What is the name of the system? In animals, who control all these responses? What is the name of the system? Yes, student, my question. In animals, yes, the responses, yes, correct, Nisha, that is a nervous system. Good, nervous system. Now, nervous system, definitely, if you are talking about the nervous system, then the structure and function, what is the structure and function unit of the nervous system called? Just raise your hand so that I can unmute you. What is a structural and function system? What is a structure and function unit of the nervous system called? What is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system called? Okay, good. Student, instead of writing in the chat box, you raise your hand quickly so that I can unmute you. Yes, correct. It is the neuron. Correct. But before going into the neuron, we will discuss that what are the types of the nervous system which is there in our syllabus. So there are two types of the nervous system. One is the central nervous system, other is the peripheral nervous system. In the central nervous system consists of brain and the spinal cord, while the peripheral nervous system consists of the cranial and the spinal nerves coming out from the brain and the spinal cord. The nerves which comes out from the brain is called the cranial nerves, and the nerves which comes out from the spinal cord is called the spinal nerve. Now they proliferate throughout the body, and that is why it is called the peripheral nervous system. Now, if you are talking about the structure of the neuron, then the neuron structure, the neuron has the dendrite. What is the function of the dendrite? The dendrite acquires the message, passes the message to the cell body, and then this message passes through the axon towards the nerve ending. Okay, so this is the, we can say in a simplified view, the function of the neuron. Now, whenever we are talking about the neuron, we have to say that what happens or how do the information get transmitted across the neuron. So the information is at first stage, the information is acquired from the receptors. Student, what do you mean by receptor? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Don't write in the chat box the definition. Don't waste your time in typing. Okay, Anjali. Anjali, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Anjali. Yes, Anjali.
Yes, sir. Sir, receptors are group of cell that detect stimuli to central nervous system.
Okay, correct, Anjali. Receptors are the group of cells that detect.
Receptors are group of cells that
detect stimuli. Very good. Okay, Anjali, correct. Receptors are the group of cells that detect the stimuli. Very good. Now, after detection of the stimuli, the message will be sent to the CNS. The message will be sent to the CNS. Okay. Now, the message is sent to the CNS. Just a moment. The message is sent to the CNS, that is the brain and the spinal cord. Yes, students, it got disconnected. Yes, in between it got disconnected. Okay, no problem. Let me share the slide once again. Yes, just a moment. My screen share is getting loaded. Just a moment. It's taking time for the screen to get loaded. Okay, meanwhile, let me proceed with the interaction. Meanwhile, the screen is getting loaded. Proceed with the interaction. Okay, and yes, the receptors are the group of cells that detect the stimuli and they send the message to the brain and the spinal cord. Now, definitely in the central nervous system, the CNS send the message to the effector. Again, my next question: what do you mean by the effector here? Anyone? What do you mean by the effector? What do you mean by the effector? Anyone raise your hand? What do you mean by the effector? Yes, Nisha, unmute yourself. Okay, Nisha, unmute yourself. I've given the option, Nisha, unmute yourself. Yes, Nisha.
the group cell that group of cell, yes, sir. The group of cells that show some response towards a stimuli.
Okay, correct. That show action toward the stimuli. So at the neuromuscular junction, this is the neuromuscular junction. This one. Now, at the neuromuscular junction, excuse me, at the neuromuscular junction, the message reaches and it touches the synaptic vesicle. From the synaptic vesicle, neurotransmitter, excuse me, sorry, student. At the neurotransmitter, the messages are released, and the chemicals are released, and the chemicals will cross the synapse. What is a synapse? Synapse is the gap between the two neurons. So when it crosses the synapse, it touches the other neuron, it sets off the release of the chemicals. Now, after releasing of the chemicals, they set off a reaction in the body. They bring about the reaction in the body, and that very reaction is carried forward through the axon to the next nerve ending. So this is how the message gets transmitted from one neuron to the next. Now, after this, we will be discussing about the reflex action. Reflex action and the reflex are, what is a reflex action? Reflex action is a quick involuntary action shown towards a particular stimuli. Shown towards a particular stimuli. Now, in the reflex action, what is the mechanism of the reflex action? In reflex action, the stimuli is detected by the receptors. Then through the sensory neuron are the neuron that connect the receptor and the CNS. It reaches to the spinal cord, and then with the help of the motor neuron, it reaches to the effector. But there is a gap between the motor neuron and the sensory neuron, and this gap is connected by the relay neuron. Okay. The pathway of the reflex action is called the reflex arc. Now, depending upon the type of the stimuli, the receptors are also classified into various categories, like olfactory receptor that detect smell, the gustative receptor that detect taste, the photoreceptor that detect light, phonoreceptor that detect sound. So depending on this, there are different type of the receptors also in the body. Next, we will come to the most important part, that is the human brain. Human brain altogether, okay. From human brain also, I will ask you a few questions. Into how many major regions the human brain is divided? Tell me. Just unmute yourself. Abhiraj. Okay, okay. Nisha, again the same student. Now this time Abhiraj. Abhiraj, unmute yourself. Just a moment. Let me give the chance to the students. Abhiraj, unmute yourself. Let me have an interaction with you all. Abhiraj. Not. Okay. Nisha, unmute yourself. Nisha, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Nisha, what are the three main types? What are the three main regions into which the brains are divided? Brain is divided.
Forebrain, midbrain, and the hindbrain. That are the
Hindbrain.
major regions.
Can anyone say me what is the function of the forebrain? What is the function of the forebrain? Anyone? Function of the forebrain? Okay, Anjali. Unmute yourself, Anjali.
The site of memory, intelligence, learning, reasoning, and knowledge.
Correct. The forebrain is a major area for controlling the functions like thinking, reasoning, memory, intelligence. Yes, definitely this is correct. Now the next part. Midbrain and hindbrain. The midbrain. Okay, the midbrain. Suppose all of a sudden you are seeing a bright light coming on your face. So what you will do, you will try to move about your face. That is, the movement of the head, neck, and the trunk area is controlled by the midbrain, which is the smallest part of the human brain. Then the hindbrain is divided into three parts: medulla, cerebellum, and pons. Pons helps in regulating respiration. Medulla control the involuntary reflexes like vomiting, salivating, blood pressure, and cerebellum helps to maintain the balance and posture of the body. Now, till this, anyone having any doubt in the nervous system, the brain? Anyone having any doubt? The brain is definitely protected by the brain box or the cranium. Anyone having any further doubts? Anyone? Okay, no. Nisha, pons is a part of human brain. Pons, P-O-N-S. Example, there is no such question. Example of pons. It is a part and it helps in respiration. Got it, Nisha? Understood, Nisha? Your doubt is clear? Yes, students? Yes, okay. Again, it got disconnected. Today, some net issue is coming. No problem. My screen share is again getting loaded. Okay. Now, students, we will be starting with the again the next topic, that is the coordination in the plants. What are the two type of the movement in the plant, students? What are the two type of movement in the plants? Anyone? Okay, Anjali, unmute yourself. Yes.
Sir, tropic movement or nastic movement?
Tropic movement and nastic movement. Now, can anyone say me what do you mean by the tropic movement? Anyone? What do you mean by tropic movement? Again, the same hand, Nisha and Anjali, only 2 speakers are there in my class. See, and the moment the class question and answer session is going on one by one, some of the students are leaving. I have noted down the name. So when you will be coming in the offline class, definitely I will have an interaction with you all. Yes. Nisha, unmute yourself, Nisha, this time. What do you mean by tropic movement, Nisha?
Directional movements in plants in response.
Okay.
Sorry. Directional movements in plants in response to
Directional movement in the plant in response to the stimuli. Now, depending upon the different type of the stimuli, the tropic movement are of different type. For example, yes.
And
For
it is dependent on
yes.
growth.
Okay. Okay, Nisha. Yes. You can yes, mute yourself now. Or I'm also doing. Now, depending upon the types of the stimuli, the tropism are of the different type. For example, the phototropism, here the directional movement in response to light. The stem bend towards the light, that is why the stem is positively phototropic. Root bends away from the light, that is the root is negatively phototropic. Definitely. Now, thigmotropism, directional movement in response to touch. For example, the tendrils climb up a support, okay, due to touch, and definitely it is moving upward due to the growth. Then we have the photonastism. Photonastism is a type of the nastic movement. First, let me here why I have said the word photonastism, because phototropism and photonastism, the difference comes. Thigmotropism and thigmonastism also the difference comes. Then you have the hydrotropism, that is directional movement of the plant in response to the water. Then you have the geotropism, directional movement in response to the gravity. Then you have the chemotropism, directional movement in response to the chemical. Okay, so these are the different type of the tropic movement. Nastism, photonasty, non-directional movement in response to light. For example, opening and closing of the dandelion flower. Then you have the thigmonastism, thigmonastism, non-directional movement in response to touch. For example, when you touch the leaves of the touch me not plant, that is a Mimosa pudica, the leaf shrinks. Okay, now the next is the coordination in the plant, movement due to growth. Movement due to the growth. Now, hormones. 4 type of hormones we have to study in case of the plants: auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, and abscisic acid. Auxin helps in the growth. They help in cell enlargement. They help in cell differentiation, fruit growth. Gibberellin also help in cell enlargement, cell differentiation, cell elongation, and gibberellin also help in breaking the dormancy of the seeds and the buds. Then comes the cytokinin. It helps in cell division. The cytokinin helps in the cell division plus fruit growth. It also helps in the ripening of the fruits. Plus, it also helps in breaking the dormancy and also in the opening of the stomata. Then we have the growth inhibitor, that is the abscisic acid. What is the role of the growth inhibitor? That is the abscisic acid. The growth inhibitor, that is the abscisic acid, helps in the closing of the stomata and maintaining the dormancy. It causes the leaf to wilt, and from the word wilting comes abscission. Okay. Is it clear to all? Till this, anyone having any doubt? So then I will come to the last portion, that is animal hormone. Anyone having any doubt till this? Okay, no doubt. Okay. Okay. Now, from the animal hormone, first, let me ask you a few questions so that I can see. Yesterday it was done, how much you have progressed. Student, what do you mean by the endocrine glands? What do you mean by the endocrine glands? What do you mean by the endocrine glands? Anyone? Endocrine. Endocrine glands. Okay, Anjali. Okay, Anjali, tell me, what do you mean by the endocrine glands?
Endocrine
Yes, tell me.
glands are the glands that do not have duct. They pour their secretion.
Anjali, by mistake, you have again muted yourself. Unmute yourself. Yes, you are correct. They don't have the duct. They are ductless. They pour their secretion directly into the blood. Okay, correct. Nisha, what do you mean by exocrine glands? Unmute yourself, Nisha. What do you mean by the exocrine glands? Nisha, exocrine.
Sir, exocrine glands are the glands that have duct.
Exocrine glands are the gland that have duct.
Okay, exocrine glands are the glands that have duct. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Nisha, correct. Okay. Yes, Nisha, do you want to ask anything? Okay, I'm giving you the option. Unmute yourself again.
Yes, sir. I have
Yes.
taught in exam harmony. I have posted a question in chat.
Okay,
So can you?
Okay, let me see the question once. First question, but the question is not opening, Nisha. You have said answer me first question, but the question which you have posted, okay, yes, it's got open. Let me see that question. 1 minute. Okay, it is not visible. Nisha, do you do one thing? Nisha, you send me that question by taking that, send me the question through WhatsApp, okay? WhatsApp me that question. You just send me that question through WhatsApp, okay? Parallelly, I'm checking that also because it is not getting, it is not clear from there. You just send me through WhatsApp. I will check that question immediately and I'm answering that question to you. Right now, you send me. Okay, meanwhile, you send me. I'm moving further. I've kept my WhatsApp open. So if you are sending me that question, because in the chat box, it is not visible. Okay, yes, I got your question. Just a moment. Let me see the question and I'm answering you this question. The question one, the figure shows the movement of the stem. X is a part of the stem. The movement of the plant hormone auxin in the cell regulates cell elongation and growth of plants in a particular direction. The figure shows the movement of the X is a part of the stem. The movement of the plant hormone auxin in the cell regulates cell elongation and growth in the particular direction. Acha, what would be the size of the cell and the distribution of the auxin at the part X? Okay, one thing I would like to do, I would like to share this question for all the students also. Okay. Okay, Nisha, one thing is that I'll keep this question, okay? Why I'm saying, because I will share this with my slide in the class so that it will be visible to all the students, okay? And then I will sort it out. Is it okay, Nisha? Is it okay, Nisha? I would like to display this question. Okay, yes. And I will come to that. Even if the school reopens, I will take this question in the class also. Yes, I've seen that question. Okay, I've kept this. I've kept this question. I will share this as a slide and then I will discuss with the whole class. Yes. Now, From the different glands of the body. Can anyone say me which hormone is secreted from hypothalamus? Which hormone is secreted from hypothalamus? Which hormone is secreted from hypothalamus? Yes, student, we have come to the last part. Okay, once again, I recapitulate. From hypothalamus, releasing hormones are liberated. And okay, Nisha raised her hand again. Okay, Nisha, unmute yourself. Yes, Nisha. Nisha, unmute yourself. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nisha, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I have raised my hand to answer the question of what is the hormone.
Okay. So now I will recapitulate the function of the hormones once again. That is, the hypothalamus secretes the releasing hormone. And what is the function of the releasing hormone? They stimulate the pituitary gland to release further their hormone. Now, the pituitary gland releases a growth hormone, which control the growth and development of the body. If they are secreted in less quantity, then it leads to dwarfism. If they are secreted in over quantity, it leads to gigantism. That means excess growth of the body is there, and the person again attains a tall figure. Then we are coming to the thyroid gland. Thyroxine hormone is secreted from the thyroid gland, and it regulates the carbohydrate, protein, and fat metabolism. Here one term is metabolism. Yesterday I have defined and I have written also. Can anyone say me what do you mean by metabolism? Anyone, what do you mean by metabolism? What do you mean by metabolism? Okay, Nisha. Metabolism.
Sum total of all
The sum total of all the chemical reaction in the body. Correct. Yes. Correct, Nisha. Now, the thyroid gland secretes the hormone thyroxine, and they control the secrete the hormone thyroxine. It controls the carbohydrate, fat, and the protein metabolism. Iodine is essential for the synthesis of the thyroxine, and that is why how we will take iodine through the iodized salt. Its deficiency causes the neck to swell, which causes goiter. Next is the pancreas, very important gland because it secretes insulin, which lowers the blood sugar level. If the pancreas is unable to secrete adequate amount of the insulin, then what problem arises? The problem arises is that our blood sugar level rises and we are said to be diabetic. One very important thing regarding the pancreas, that pancreas is called the mixed gland because it has both the exocrine and the endocrine part. The exocrine part secretes the digestive juice, while the endocrine part secretes the hormone. Important hormones and their function. Testes in the male, they secrete the hormone testosterone, and ovaries in female, which secrete the hormone estrogen. The testosterone changes control the changes during the puberty and also the development of the male sex organs. The function testosterone is doing in case of the male, estrogen is also doing in case of the female. That is the development of the female sex organ. Even it maintain the changes during the puberty. Apart from the yesterday also I told you one more hormone we should discuss over here, that is a progesterone. Progesterone, it maintains the uterus changes during the menstrual cycle and also control or maintains the pregnancy. Okay. Now, apart from this, adrenal gland has one special hormone called adrenaline. Now, what is the other name I have given to the hormone adrenaline, student, yesterday? What is the other name of adrenaline which I provided you yesterday? And why it is called so? What is the other name of the adrenaline which I provided yesterday and why it is called so? What is the other name of the adrenaline which we have provided yesterday and why it is called so? Adrenal gland secretes the hormone adrenaline. Very correct. But what is the name? It is called emergency hormone because it is released at the time of fight or flight. And what is the function of this hormone? It increases the heart rate, heartbeat, blood is diverted to the digestive system and skin is reduced by contracting muscles around small artery in this organism, and it diverts the blood to the skeletal muscle. The breathing rate increases due to contraction of the diaphragm and rib muscles. So these are the different functions of the hormone adrenaline. Apart from this, one more topic was there, that is a feedback mechanism. It means the timing and amount of the hormone release depends upon the timing and the amount hormone release depends upon the feedback mechanism. And what is that feedback mechanism? Suppose if the blood sugar level in your body rises, pancreas will detect this. The cells of the pancreas will detect it and will start producing more amount of the insulin. As a result, the blood sugar level falls. And the moment the blood sugar level falls, the insulin secretion is also reduced. Got it? Is it clear to all? Till this, anyone having any doubt, you can share in the chat box. Okay. Okay, fine. So we have recapitulated the whole chapter of control and coordination. And when I think after today, though the notification will come, so our next the part, or we can say the next chapter will be the acid, bases, and salt. Definitely, yes. So till okay. Just a yes. Nisha has sent one question that if the question comes, which disease causes a hormone imbalance? See, Nisha, it depends upon the name of the hormone. Suppose we are saying insulin, hormonal imbalance. Suppose insulin is secreted in less quantity, then the disease name is diabetes. Then if you are saying about the growth hormone secretion is less, then dwarfism. If the growth hormone secretion is more, gigantism. If the iodine is necessary for the production of the thyroxine, less thyroxine, then goiter, swollen neck. So this question, the answer of this question depends upon the name of the hormone. Is it clear, Nisha? Your doubt is clear? So the chat box, you can reply to me. Okay, fine. Yes, I got the reply. Any more queries, student? Any more queries in this chapter? Because in our next class, we'll move to the next chapter. You will solve the question and answers, the NCERT exercise, the blueprint question and answer of control and coordination, definitely. And every day at the end of the by evening of the same day, I posted the notes also so that the write-up part you can write. I hope all of you have written yes or no, the whole chapter, because yesterday the whole chapter was completed. Today, overall briefing I have done. All of you have written the whole chapter. Give me the remark so that I can see. Okay, Nisha. Okay. Okay, Nisha has responded. Other students. Okay, Nancy also responded. Shweta left the class. Lastly, very few students are there. Okay. Okay, Anjali. Yes, Anjali, do you have anything to ask? You raised your hand. Okay, unmute yourself.
No, sir, I don't have any doubt. सर वो मेरा चैट बॉक्स में आप लिख रहा है कि आप इस मीटिंग में नहीं हो, इसीलिए मैंने ऑडियो से बोला। मैं कब से उसमें लिख रही हूँ बट वो पोस्ट नहीं हो रहा।
ओके 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 निशा, हाँ मे बी सम टेक्निकल ग्लिच, हाँ ओके कोई बात नहीं। ठीक है निशा, ओके थैंक यू अंजलि, हाँ सॉरी अंजलि, ओके हाँ okay students, so we have come to the end of today's class. Yes, okay, thank you student for today's class, and in our next class we will be continuing with the chapter acid base and salt. Okay, thank you all.